Hey, welcome everyone. My name is Blake Wasser. I'm one of the consultants with Etsy Automations. We'll be diving into what we do and how we do it today. Real quick though, we build, manage, and operate Etsy stores for our clients where we do all the work. Find the products, research the products, list the products, ship the products. We handle all the customer service. It's essentially a passive income stream for our clients. Most of our clients probably spend, less than an hour a week, looking at this business or passive income stream. All right. So this session should go about 30 minutes. Hopefully you have a pen and paper to take notes. I'm sure as we go through this, you'll have questions. I'm sure whatever questions you have, I'll probably answer throughout the presentation. But anything I do not get to, just make sure to write it down and we'll cover it at the end. And I'll be doing a Q&A session at the end to answer your questions. There is a chat box here if you'd like to talk back and forth. Real quick though, where's everyone from? All right, Miami. Awesome. I'm actually from Fort Lauderdale originally, but I currently reside in Charleston, South Carolina. So do you guys have any experience with e-commerce, whether it's Amazon, Walmart, Etsy, Shopify, or are you guys brand new at this? New? All right, gotcha. Oh, you already have an Amazon store with us? Awesome. That's great. Yeah, we also do Amazon stores as well. All right. New? All right. Now, understand whether you're brand new at this or you have experience, you're in the right room today. All right. And how'd you guys hear about us to begin with? Instagram? Gotcha. Yep. Oh, your friend has an Etsy store with us? All right, very cool. We do get a lot of clients from referrals. Let's kind of get into it. All right. So the purpose of today's session, one, we'll talk about the biggest mistakes most people make when starting their own e-commerce business. Two, we'll talk about 3 different ways you can make money with your business. And last but not least, I'll invite you to continue to work with us to create your own profitable Etsy business. All right. So looking out of here, we'll be diving into some quick facts about Etsy. You've been living under a rock. All right. 40% of Etsy buyers are repeat customers. 8.9% are what we call habitual buyers. 96 million people are active buyers on Etsy and has 7.5 million sellers. Etsy generated 2.5 billion in revenue in 2022, which is a 10% year-on-year increase from the previous year. It increased gross merchandise volume 13.4 billion after doubling it the year prior, as well as net income for Etsy last year was $493 million. Now, I heard a lot last year, stock market's down, crypto's fallen off a cliff. What's going on with e-commerce? Well, there's more people buying online now than ever, especially due to COVID and things. Interest rates up, inflation's up, people are looking for deals. They're shopping online. And where are they shopping? Etsy, right? And other e-commerce sites as well, right? So this is a great business opportunity for the future, or for someone who's looking at multiple streams of income. All right. So the biggest mistakes most people make when starting their own e-commerce business: not following each platform's ever-changing rules and procedures. Doing that or not following the rules could lead to your store getting suspended or banned. Buying or sourcing inventory the right way. Do not be that guy who goes to China, buys $10,000 worth of products. You hope and pray it comes. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, maybe they're damaged. We do what's called a retail arbitrage, which we'll talk about here shortly. But essentially, a product's only purchased using your card after someone's bought it from your store. Product research and trend analysis. There's millions of products offered for sale on Etsy. All right. Some of the biggest categories are homewares, home furnishings, jewelry, personal accessories, craft supplies, apparel, paper and party supplies, just to name a few. All right. And really, at the end of the day, most clients don't really care what they sell. They just want to make money, right? And we do all that product research for you. Customer service 24/7. If you're a seller on Etsy, customer submits a question. Essentially, you have 24 hours to respond, or Etsy is going to flag or suspend your store. Fulfillment, tracking, logistics. Let's say your store gets to the point where you're selling, hundreds, thousands of items a month, and it become overwhelming, if you're doing all this work on your own, as well as, listing products the wrong way or inventory incorrectly. That could lead to getting your store suspended, but we're going to focus on how to do it the right way the first time. Okay. So what is Etsy Automation? We're an e-commerce management and consulting company that assists you in opening up an Etsy store, which we then manage and do all the hard work for you. All right. We own nothing. The business in the store is in your name. You own 100% equity in the business. Essentially, you're hiring us to manage, build, grow, operate that business for you. Most of our clients are very busy. They have jobs, careers, families. They like the idea of investing online. They love the idea of making money with Etsy. They just don't want to spend the time, the energy, the effort to figure out and then do all that hard work on their own. And they want someone to do all the hard work for them. And here we are today. And that's exactly what we do for all of our clients. You can almost think of us as a property management company where you are the property owner, we are the management company, and we're just doing all the work and dealing with all the headaches for all of our clients. All right. So this is a screenshot from one of our client stores over the last 30 days, 47,000 in revenue. All right. Now, one of the great things about Etsy are the profit margins. Huge. It's the highest in the industry. Profit margins range, 40 to 60%. Let's pick a number somewhere in the middle. Let's say you're averaging out a 50% profit margins, 47,000 revenue. That's a $23,000 in profit. All right, we'll show you how all that works here shortly. All right, now if you decide to work with us and we decide to work with you, you'll be assigned a team. And the team essentially does all the work for you and your business. From designing your store, order fulfillment, product listing and optimization, product selection, customer service, generating sales, and scaling. All right. So, essentially with our years of experience, we know what works, what doesn't work, what to do, as well as what not to do. And we just stick with what works for all of our client stores we currently manage and operate. All right. Now, one of the biggest questions I usually get asked is, how do you know what products to sell? There's millions of products out there. All right. What sets us apart, we have an algorithm that identifies which products are selling the best and automatically connects with our vast network of suppliers or vendors that then compete on offering the most competitive pricing, in return being able to provide you with the highest margins possible. Now, our job, or your team's job, is to get you that star seller status. All right. Now, not everyone gets that star seller status. All right. There's essentially a formula or algorithm in obtaining that. And the only person who probably knows that is the CEO of Etsy himself. All right. But we've been doing this for years. We know how to get it quickly for products in our client stores. Now, some of the determining factors in getting that star seller status is the price of the product, the health of your account, your reviews, your location, among other things. And like I said, not everyone gets that star seller status. Getting that star seller status essentially gets you that top listing on the front page for that product on Etsy. All right. And it does take 90 days from sales begin to qualify for that star seller status. Okay. Once again, folks, this is a business. It's not a get rich quick scheme. All right. It takes time to build a business. It takes time to grow a business. It takes time to get sales. It takes time to get reviews. And it takes time to get reviews to get sales. All right. Essentially a catch-22. Make sense? Okay. All right. So how it all works. What we do is considered retail arbitrage. Essentially, a product is only purchased using your card after someone's bought that product from your store. So for example, boom, someone buys a product from your store. We then go out with our proprietary software. We purchase that product through one of our suppliers within seconds, and then our suppliers ship that product to the customer. All right. So the benefits of doing so is essentially we have zero inventory risk. Okay. Essentially, like I said, that product's only purchased using your card after someone's bought it from your store. All right. We only use US-based suppliers, and we're essentially selling the hottest selling items on Etsy. And we're not wasting any money on marketing or advertising. It's not needed when you have that star seller status. All right. Now, determining what we sell, as per Etsy's requirements, items must be either handmade or vintage, 20 years old plus, which tends to drive most drop shippers away. We have relationships with Amazon, AliExpress, other suppliers selling handmade and customized items exclusively for us. The lack of competition combined with our product selection, team constantly researching current trends and optimizing listing SEO or search engine optimization makes it easy for us to get sales using no additional advertising or marketing expense. One thing that comes down to getting that star seller status. All right, so let's go through a product example. Let's say our software identifies this mug is selling hot on Etsy. We can source this product through one of our suppliers in the United States, and there's margins available for us to make money. All right, so let's say this mug's selling for $13.85 on Etsy. We list it for $13.85. Someone buys it for $13.85. That $13.85 goes into your Etsy seller account balance. We then automatically place the order with one of our suppliers using your card for the product cost, which is $6.50, which means you make $7.35 before the profit sharing split, which we'll talk about here shortly. So once again, we're looking at 40 to 60% profit margins, which is the highest in the industry. All right, as well as Etsy only charges 6% of gross sales. Compared to Amazon, Walmart, that's charging 15% plus. Okay. So looking at some of our clients' stores, this client did over 1,787 revenue in 1 day. All right. Here's some other ones. 1 week's worth of sales, about 8,000 in revenue. All right. Once again, profit margins are about 40 to 60%. Picking a number in the middle, that's about 4,000. In profits for one of our clients, right? So here's another screenshot, month's view, $37,501 in sales, okay? Now, breaking this down, all right, so most clients run this business on credit cards or OPM, other people's money. Most clients like to use credit cards because they get miles, points, cash back. Some clients who like to use multiple credit cards for multiple reasons, typically because they have multiple credit limits. I have other people who are completely against using credit cards. They'd rather just use their bank or debit card, and that's fine too. All right. So for the week, this store owner purchased about $2,820 worth of products. All right. Sold it for $7,858 with a profit of $4,526. Okay, and once again, folks, we're doing all the work for you. Find the products, research the products, list the products, ship the products. We handle all the customer service. It's a passive income stream for our clients. Now, if you're taking notes, write this down. Okay, this is your responsibility in this business partnership. Okay, really 3 things. Number 1, pay your credit card for the products after they've been sold. Number 1, pay your credit card for the products after they've been sold. Number 2, pay the monthly invoice we send you for doing all the work for you. Number 2, pay the monthly invoice we send you for doing all the work for you. Number 3, last but not least, pay your taxes. All right, folks, if you think you could do that, we can probably help you. All right, if you can't handle that, it's probably not the right fit for you. Okay. So who we are by the numbers, we have over 100 employees here in the United States. We have a vast network of suppliers to source your products from. We currently have a little over 82 stores under management. We are managing for clients. All right. Now, occasionally someone will ask or say, Blake, you guys are so good at this. Why do you need me? Why didn't you just have hundreds of your own Etsy stores? Now, that's a great and that's a fair question. So let's talk about it. All right. Etsy essentially has a 2 store per person policy. All right. So you can only open up 2 stores per person, social security number, IP address, mailing address. All right. So it's difficult, but not impossible to open up multiples of more than 2 stores, even if you wanted to. All right. The second part of that answer to that question is everyone has their credit limits, buying power restrictions or credit limitations, right? So essentially what we're doing is we're leveraging your buying power or credit with our expertise to make you money and to make us even more money. Make sense? Right? And the team that's assigned to your store is incentivized by money, bonuses. They get monthly bonuses on a lot of different metrics, ROI, growth, new products listed. So if you're making more money, your team's going to make more money. We're all going to make more money. Make sense? All right. Now we're listing about 10 to 20 new products on average daily per store, depending on the age of your store. Okay. Typically month one, we start with one product and we scale and go from there. Once we hit that, 5, 6 month mark, we're able to start listing a lot more products. So essentially you're kind of under the microscope the first few months. Etsy doesn't know you. They don't know if you're a scammer or not, right? They want to make sure you're following the rules. You're doing everything by the books. And so it's somewhat of a probation period to get started. Once again, it's a business. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. All right. So here's some projections. So month one, typically clients are looking at profit 225 to 675. Month 2 to 4, 2,250 to 6,750. Months 4 to 8, 6,750 to 22,500. Months 8 to 12, 22,500 to 40,500. Months 12 plus, 27,000 to 45,000 profit. And then months 16 and 24 plus, 40,500 to $90,000. Okay. So what's included with our services? A dedicated team that will set up, manage, and build your business from scratch, who will hold your hand all steps of the way, which includes shop design, product selection, product listing and optimization, generating sales and scaling, order fulfillment, customer service. Our proprietary software is designed to help you streamline the management of your entire Etsy business. All right. It automates distribution of products from start to finish. It monitors the health of your store, which is critical in getting that star seller status and keeping that star seller status. We offer automated customer messaging and feedback. If you are a seller on Etsy, customer submits a question, essentially have 24 hours to respond, or Etsy's going to flag or suspend your store. All right. We essentially have an automated program that will engage customers' questions as they come in. Most people typically ask the same questions about products, but if that computer program is unable to answer that customer's question, that question gets moved further up the chain to a human in operations, which is therefore able to answer that customer's question for you. So what's that mean for you and your business? You don't have to deal with customers or customer service. You don't have to deal or handle returns. Make sense? We're also able to control pricing, allowing for a competitive edge. Let's say a competitor is selling the same product as us. All right, our software will automatically adjust our price to match that price or to beat that price by a penny, by a nickel, by a percentage point, leading up to the point where there's no more margins available. That product is no longer profitable for us to sell, and then we just remove that product or item from your store. Now understand this. Removing an item from your store does not cost you any money. Remember, in order for us to sell that mug we talked about earlier, or any product, all we're doing is posting a picture of that product on Etsy to sell it. All right. Remember, you can never run your business into the red due to having unsold products. You can never get stuck with inventory due to us doing retail arbitrage. It's the least risky way to run this type of business. You get access to our network of wholesale distributors and suppliers to source your products from. Now, there's 3 different ways you can make money with your business, right? Obviously, number 1, net profit from sales. Number 2, cash back from credit cards. Most cards typically offer, 1.5% to 2% cash back. And the last way you can make money is flipping your store down the road. All right. I have some clients after 2-3 years of sales, they'll flip their store. Okay. I had a client, John, last year. He sold his store for a little over $220,000. All All right. So that's a potential third income stream, is flipping your store down the road if that's what your goals are. All right. So typically gives pay for a 3 to 5x multiple. All right. Now the cost of working with us, we have initial investment up front. It's one time. Okay. We'll talk about that here in a second. This essentially covers your team's expenses the first few months as they build, grow, and scale your store. It includes setting up the store for you, access to our suppliers to source your products from. We do a profit sharing split with our clients depending on the package you choose, which we'll talk about here in a minute. All right. Now, both the initial investment up front and the profit sharing is tax deductible for Etsy business because essentially we're a subcontractor working for you. You can write off the initial investment. You can write off that profit sharing that we invoice you monthly. All right. Now, the first few months of selling on Etsy, Etsy could potentially suspend your store if you're generating sales too quickly. All right. Looking at the chat box, can anyone guess why? All right, well, they don't know you, right? You're the new guy, right? They do not want someone opening up a store, fly by night, selling a bunch of fake counterfeit goods, driving in a bunch of sales and then disappearing, right? They don't know you. You're new, right? So in order to prevent that, if you're a new seller on Etsy, they'll wait for tracking orders, will wait for tracking to get placed, orders to get shipped out, reviews to start coming in on those orders to make sure everything's legitimate, and then they'll essentially unfreeze your store. Like I mentioned, Etsy does have a probation period, typically the first 90 days. And that brings us down to our suspensions policy. If we were to get your store suspended or banned by Etsy, and for the record, we've never had a store been banned before, but if we were to get your store suspended or banned by Etsy, and it's due to our fault, we screwed it up, we did something wrong, and we are unable to get that store back online with our connections with Etsy or with our legal team that just deals with Etsy issues, we will build you a brand new business or store for free. So if somehow down the road, we screwed things up for you, replace the store for you at no cost to you. All right. Now there are risks associated with this business, just like starting any business. My opinion, the biggest risk with having an Etsy store is potentially getting your store suspended. All right, suspensions do happen. I've probably seen every Etsy store suspended at least once. Sometimes it's a mistake by Etsy in their algorithm. Most of the time, it's Etsy requesting an invoice, or they want to see or know something more about a product you're selling. If that were to occur to you and your store, we take care of all that work and do all that work for you. You don't have to sweat it, worry about it, think about it. We take care of all that work for you. On the rare occasion, whereas I've seen this happen twice, all right, you could have a competitor buy some products from your store and just leave you nasty fake reviews to essentially throw your store under the bus. I've seen that happen twice, all right? Now, once again, if your store were to get suspended, we have an in-house suspensions team, and that is their job to get your store back online as quickly as possible. The quickest resolution I've seen on a store suspension, a few hours. Longest one I've seen, probably about 5 or 6 days. Once again, if it were to happen to you in your store, we take care of all that work for you. All right. Now, how can you screw this business up on your end? Since practically we're doing everything and all the work for you, really 2 ways. Number 1, you do not have the buying power, purchasing power, or credit to scale and grow this business as this business scales and grows. Most clients get started with $5,000 in buying power or credit, essentially for this inventory. Okay. Now, if you're looking for credit cards, Amex has a great one out there, the American Express Plum Card. That offers 60 days, 0 interest, 1.5% cash back, and essentially has unlimited limits. So if you think scaling and growing your business may be an issue, if you have that card, it'll probably not be an issue. All right. Second way you could screw this business up on your end, since we're practically doing all the work for you. Now, let's say your credit card expires, there's a fraud alert, it just stops working for whatever reason. I call, text, email you, hey, your card's not working, we're unable to process orders or inventory, and you just blow off my call, you do not return it, and then your store does get suspended because we're unable to process orders or inventory, that's your fault. You did not return our call. Okay. Now, we have three different ways to get started with us. 15,000 up front, and that's with a 50-50 split of monthly net income on profits. We have 20,000 up front, which is a 60-40 split. You keep 60, we invoice you 40% once a month. And last but not least, we have 25,000 up front, and that's with a 70-30 split. You keep 70, we invoice you 30 once a month, and once again, we're doing all the work for you. Okay, so it is a 2-year consulting agreement. All right, after that, it goes month to month. There are no additional costs or fees when it goes month to month. However, you do need to continue to pay us that profit sharing split for doing all the work for you. Most clients typically stick with us after 2 years because we're doing all the work and it's a passive income stream for our clients. Or maybe you may decide to flip and sell your store, which we could help facilitate that as well. All right. Now, we talk about onboarding time. Setting up a new Etsy account and sourcing products can take up to 4 to 6 weeks until the completion and your store is live. Okay. So what happens after this? This is something you want to do. You can put a deposit down. All right. You may want to review the agreement. I respect that. I understand that as well. All right. So if you'd like to review the consulting agreement, you could email me. You could text me. You could call me. Just say, hey, send me the Etsy agreement. I'll send it over for you to look over and review. All right. Have your attorney read it over. Your counsel, your partner read over the agreement. Red line the agreement. There are certain things in the agreement we can change, certain things in the agreement we cannot change, and if we cannot change it, I can explain to you why. Once again, it's a 2-year consulting agreement. After that, it goes month to month. All right. So you sign the agreement, you wire the funds over to us, all right, and then onboarding begins. All right. We'll start the onboarding process. We'll hold your hand through setting up your accounts and begin assembling your team for your store. All right. Last but not least, we launch the store. Once the setup phase is complete, 4 to 6 weeks max, your store will be open to then sell products. Okay? All right. So, Etsy automations, we're not recreating the wheel when it comes to making money with e-commerce. What we do, we take the time, the work, the stress out of it, and we apply our proven methodology of Etsy business management and operations. And with our proprietary software and teams in place, we do everything and all the work for you, saving you time, money, and costs. Folks, there's 2 ways to learn how to do something. You could go to the School of Hard Knocks, learn how to do this through trial and error, right? You go to Etsy's website, open up an account in like 10 minutes, right? But what do you do after that? You go to YouTube, go down the rabbit hole, watch a bunch of videos. Could you buy the book, Etsy Selling for Dummies? Could you go to Google and research products and suppliers? Sure. Can you teach yourself on your own, how to generate 5-6 figures a year income selling on Etsy by yourself? Hey, anything's possible. Will that take you time to learn how to do that? Yeah, of course it's going to take you time. It's a business, all right? Not only does it take you time, but if you're trying to do this on your own, mistakes can happen. And not only can mistakes cost you money, mistakes can get your store suspended or banned. And then you're out of business and just wasted all that time, you did all that work, you wasted all that money for nothing. Or you could partner up with us, Etsy Automations, all right? You can leverage our operations, management, proprietary software, and we do all the work for you, all right? So essentially, we're leveraging your buying power, purchasing power, credit with our expertise to make you money and to make us even more money, all right? Now, the ROI for most clients, once again, that's dependent on the profit sharing split you went with, typically about 6 months, all right? I have some clients who make it a little bit faster. I have some clients who takes a little bit longer, all right? But when you look at starting any other business out there, most businesses take, years to break even, all right? Most of our clients break even in about 6 months or make their investment back, all right? Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to head to Zoom. The biggest question I usually get asked is how product selection works. All right. If you'd like to learn how to do that, I'll post my Zoom link now. Okay. If you're watching this as a recorded session later, if you want to review the consulting agreement, we have clients send me an email. My email's at the bottom. You could call or text me 424-699-2986. All right. If you go to our website, etsyautomations.com, we have a bunch of testimonials, client store reviews, things of that nature. But if you have any questions, that's my contact information. If you'd like to come to Zoom, I'll spend about 5 to 10 minutes there. I do know some people do not like getting their questions answered in a group setting. I get it. If you got to run, I understand that too. Just shoot me an email, shoot me a call, shoot me a text if you want to review the consulting agreement or have any questions, and we'll get that process started. Thank you for your time and have a great day.